Welcome, everybody. This is Larry Lawton in The Real Deal with my co-host, Benz.
What's up?
How you guys doing out there, everybody? Here it is, a Monday morning, and we're ready to rock and roll. And boy, we've been busy this morning. Just a little quick update. The studio's getting worked on so much. As you can see at cameras, you're going to see a whole different angle. You're going to see walls different. You're going to see everything different. So we've all been working hard over the weekend, really figuring this whole thing out. And obviously, all your comments are welcome. Suggestions are welcome. You can just email us at larry@realitycheckprogram.com and put in the subject line podcast. Anything you want to say. I just got another email on something about the podcast. And didn't I send you a few too?
Yeah, I saw the couple that you sent me yesterday.
I sent them. So anyway, what we're doing is we're really going to make this podcast. We're just discussing how we're going to go on the road. We're really gonna set up the RV. We're gonna make it a podcast studio, something like Steve-O does. He does that.
He's got an RV that's all set up.
Yeah, kind of like that. It's a little different setup that we're gonna do.
Okay.
We also can do, like I was talking about, outside the RV. I think sometimes that'll be cool in a different location.
Depends. Yeah. I mean, if it's not raining or windy or anything like that.
We got awnings and all that. But yeah, absolutely.
But even with an awning, if it's raining, it's gonna be nasty.
I know that. Yeah, but I set it up with Paulie Tellini once. And it really came good. And he's got a lot of views on YouTube. It was a video, actually. And the video was an hour and a half. So it was like a podcast.
How is Paul doing?
He just sent me some texts this morning through WhatsApp. He's going to Virginia. He had a couple of Harleys, him and his brother going to Virginia.
On a Harley?
No, but they were towing him. And then they're going to go there. He lives now in Sarasota.
Yeah.
So
is he living life, man?
Man, I think about him. He did 27 years in the joint.
Fucking A.
Every day's fucking good. I say it. People say, "How you doing, Larry?" Listen, I'm not dead or in jail. Doing fucking great.
Right. Life's not that bad if I'm not dead or in jail.
Absolutely. It's funny because this weekend flew by, man. I didn't even know what happened. My son and I were on the phone a lot. We're doing some stuff. We're getting stuff for the studios.
If you're working through the weekend, it doesn't feel like a weekend.
Me anyway, because I pretty much work 7 days. My brain is always working. I mean, that's just the way it is, And I heard from Kirill. And we're going to really set up where my brother's going to take the RV out as the driver, and then I'll meet him there. We're going to do we got a lot of stuff we're thinking about. So it's going to be a crazy, what we're doing.
Okay.
Anyway, you tell me what's going on. What did you do the weekend?
Dude, I did nothing. I literally hung out with my kids. I didn't do any work. Just
nothing.
Nothing.
You for real?
For real, 100%. I did nothing. I sat around. I got my new Instagram going. Yeah, we talked about that here on Friday.
Yeah, tell everybody what your Instagram is.
That Benz. Getting a slow start, but a start nonetheless.
What is it, like that Benz, just at that Benz? Doesn't Instagram work that way?
Yeah, you use an at kind of like to tag somebody, but the actual name is that Benz. ThatBenz. Add me on there if you're an Insta person. Add me. It's a new account, so I don't have a lot of followers or anything like that, but I'm going to keep some content going there.
And you're going to answer people, right?
Oh, absolutely. I always do. I like to talk to everybody. And you know what? That's what my favorite part about Discord is, the ability to talk to people that are either coming from the channel or coming from
wherever
the podcast. No, here's the thing. They'll talk to me about what it is that's specifically important to them. You know what I notice a lot? A lot of the stuff that I get, and you probably get this a ton, people that are either in trouble or trying to navigate the legal system, and they're reaching out. And, sometimes I don't have the right advice to give. You know what I mean? And there's only so much I can say, oh, well, send it to Larry, and then he'll see if he can help you. But that is the majority of the random messages that I get that aren't about the podcast or the videos. That's why I was saying the podcast and the videos are one thing, and then the rest of kind of like the follow-ship that you have, people will reach out to me and say, hey, can I talk to Larry? I've gotten in this trouble. I've done that, so.
I get a lot of that, actually, and there's certain things I can. First of all, I got to let everybody know, I'm not a legal lawyer, so I cannot give advice.
Right.
I can give you my opinion.
Right.
But I can't give advice. That's big against the bar. I mean, you can get shut out of a lot of things if you fuck with that. And lawyers can get pissed at you. Not that I give a fuck about lawyers, to be honest with you.
Right.
But listen, I want to do the right thing. I don't want to give somebody advice. And you got to remember, the states are a lot different than the feds. If you're going to the feds,
that's true. A lot of people don't realize that. They'll ask you questions about, their little kid, like Mike's case. I know a little bit about it, but that's only because I've been involved in some cases that were similar to that. But in a sense, right, our experience is typically federal. It's
Well,
not.
we know he's an idiot. I mean, that's about you can start off with that. That's a given. But no, what you're saying is like, and especially even the feds, like they have they call kingpin statutes and a whole bunch of other stuff. Organizers, I know about it. I can go look the books. I have them here. But if you want to ask me about 924C, which is a gun charge, which is actually a specific charge in the federal regulation, I lived and breathed that fucking saved my life. That's why I'm here to do this podcast.
Right.
So I can really pretty much even off the top of my head get that one. And the other ones I do, I actually refer people to Paulie. Paulie Tellini and I did law work for a long time. He's one of the best I know out there. I was really, really good at fucking with the system.
Isn't that what he does right now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He has a legal. It's like a consultant service. Like if you get a lawyer,
Right.
how do you know they're doing the right thing?
Wait, so this is somebody to kind of oversee what the lawyer is doing.
And listen, there's no question in my mind, Paulie, or myself even, in certain federal laws, we know more than a lawyer. I mean, I lived it for 10 years. He lived it for 25 years.
Absolutely. I think that those lawyers will never know what it's like to be on the other side, and having that knowledge, just alone, I mean, I know you got more than that, but just having the knowledge of what it feels like to be on the other side waiting for shit to happen gives you a unique perspective that a lawyer could never get unless he's sat in that seat or in those
That's
shoes.
a given. Of course, he's not in prison. But I'm even talking to law. You got to remember, when we did the law in prison, we lived, breathed 24/7, 7 days a week. We got nothing to do. Or, you'll work out. You still go to the library. You're in your cell. You read legal books. Because sometimes, you have a lot of legal books and you want to look up something. Then you get lost in the law. Even in a hole, you could have legal books.
Sure.
So, I mean, take 10 years I did. That's like 25 years experience. You take Paulie. How do you fucking replace 25 fucking years experience?
You just can't.
You can't. Not a chance in hell you can do that. And I'm not knocking lawyers. They got 25, 50 cases and who paid them and this and that. And they want to get them done themselves and all this. I've seen lawyers try to say, I'll take a plea. Plea.
Listen, we've all done shit for money.
Absolutely.
We haven't worked as hard as we absolutely could for money. You know when do we work the hardest?
When we want to do it.
For our freedom.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah. When you're stuck in the fucking hole for 100 and fucking something days.
How many? I was fucking in the hole for almost a whole year. So it's 306, about 320 days.
All right,
like
so
that.
300.
More.
All right, so
straight. Now,
right.
now 3 years, so that's 1,000 days in the hole.
Fuck.
I mean, I don't even think about it like that anymore. Because that was crazy.
I mean, that's the thing is that the fact that you're not crumpled up.
I'm pretty fucked up anyway. So
you're fucked up, but is that the kind of fucked up that you are? I feel like you should be more fucked up.
Silverman told me that, a friend of ours. And I said, I don't have an excuse to be bitter or something like that. I think that's a big excuse for people use. No matter what happened to you, whether it's being abused like myself as a child or going to prison. Listen, I put myself in that situation, not the young kid stuff. I'm talking about myself in prison. I did it. So I don't ever, you've never heard me, and I don't know, I know you 10 years, more than that. Have you ever heard me bitch about how to go to prison?
No.
Joe Fermini used to say that. I never heard you from the day I used to visit you in the first day you were in prison. Listen, I knew what I was doing. I'm not a fucking idiot. Yeah, I got caught and I was a fucking criminal.
And you knew it was coming in the sense that
either that or being dead, really.
Right.
Or getting life.
And which would you rather?
Wow, look at me. I'm sitting here right now,
Exactly.
fucking jerking off once a day. I mean, what the fuck? How can you
Weren't you jerking off once a day in prison too?
No, more than that.
More than that, because you had nothing but time to kill.
Well, it depends. Usually night before you go to bed or something like that. In the shower maybe or whatever. But not, it was a lot.
I could imagine like when they fucking lock up and they're ready for everybody to go to sleep, you could just hear a bunch of fucking dudes running their fucking.
Well, you know who? In prison, what we did was we rented a porno magazine from somebody. They had pornos they called Pirates and Privates. And they're these little books, kind of like the letters, penthouse letters, the little ones. And they have fucking hardcore, glossy pictures, the cock going in the pussy up the ass, everything fucking. They were hardcore. So you'd rent it for $1 for the night.
Who'd you rent it from? Just
whoever owned it, because they were grandfathered in. They weren't letting them in.
Oh. But if you already had it, they wouldn't come and grab it?
Right.
Yeah, but you
if
don't
you got
want to be
transferred, you were fucked. So if somebody got transferred, man, he's fucking negotiating a price for that thing. because you're gonna fucking make a fool. And you used to tell the guy, don't fucking stick these pages together, motherfucker. I'll kill you.
Right, because if you come on the fucking pages, they'll stick together.
Absolutely.
You know
man.
that from the Sears magazines that you talk about.
You're right. That is true, man. Now you aged me, man. Fucking the bra section.
No, you said that in either the last podcast or the one before that. You said that, we have it good today, with internet porn
Pornhub,
and whatever.
yeah.
Whereas before, kids used to go and pick up the Sears catalog and jerk off to ugly looking bras too. Not even like the good kind.
Oh yeah, and of course they were fucking like women bras.
There's a lot of people that are probably listening to this who don't know what the Sears catalog is. It is fully dressed. It's how they were selling bras and underwears, right, for women. And that's basically what it was. And
well, it looked like the old lady shit from the bottom.
Right. The shit that went up to your... By the way, that's making a comeback.
Is it?
I've
Really?
seen bathing suits like that now.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking what you were just saying, and I'm thinking about people who listen to this. I remember. I know I'm gonna age myself in this way. No phones, just zero phones. No beepers, nothing. You get 10 cents for a phone call. You had to beat
But
somebody.
there were
up.
landlines. You were
Yeah.
born into
Oh
that.
yeah. There were landlines. We had a rotary phone. Where you had a
Yeah,
rotary,
I know what that is.
and it was just amazing.
So hold on. Here's the thing. If you know what a rotary phone is and you're under, 25? No, more than that.
You got to be under 50.
No, there was rotary phones when I grew up, a lot. And I'm 36.
Rotary phone?
Yeah, rotary phone. You're talking about
What
the
year
ones
were you
where
born? What
I
were
was
you
born
born?
in 85.
I was in the military. Everything was. I was almost getting out of the military.
The military was the height of the technology, though. They had buttons still. But the rotary phones were... Here's the thing. Not every house. For example, I had a room phone when I was a kid, and that was one of those banana phones. Remember those things?
Yeah.
So I had one with the buttons, but there were still places where you'd go and still see the rotary phones. So I know what they are.
You'd see them in telephone booths, too.
Yeah, but right, exactly. But they disappeared, especially in telephone booths. They disappeared first. Because that was a lot. That mechanism would just break constantly. How many times did you get to a phone booth and
we used to do is we used to fucking. There was a letter in the fucking the dictionary on the phone. You know what you did?
Mm-hmm.
You could drill a hole in there, and then you put a paper clip, and you can click. So it's like as a cord is going through it.
Right.
So all the phones we used, we drilled that, and you couldn't see it on. Click.
Oh,
click,
bro, I had
click,
a way
click,
better scam
click.
than that. I had a way better scam than
Well,
that.
that was pretty good when we were kids.
My one of the guys that was working with my dad at the time, had this little device. It was like a little speaker. You remember that fucking thing?
Yes.
You could call anywhere with
And
that.
it was sound.
It would work on
sound.
It would work on your home phone too.
We didn't have payphones, obviously, in a home phone.
No, I know, but it would work on payphones. But then you'd have to call it like a collect, and you could use the automated collect thing with that device. Basically, what the device would do, it would play a frequency that you couldn't hear. You just put it up to the phone, to the ear part of the phone. You were in jail for that shit, weren't you? I mean, you remember that. I know you do because that was a common scam.
Oh no, I remember the devices. They were a puck. We had guys used
A puck. That's what they used to call them.
Do you remember also the slugs? Used to get them from like sheet metal workers. Like my dad was a sheet metal worker. It looked like a coin.
Right, it looked like a coin. You put it in, but you bring it back out.
Yeah, but we didn't give a shit. We had thousands of them. Put them in.
They were
Everyone was
just
a
mimic
quarter.
the exact shape of a quarter.
Yep.
Right.
And it would say, "Please deposit 25 cents. Please deposit." Click, click.
Right.
Or for this amount of time, you do this shit.
Motherfuckers today have no clue.
Well, I was just thinking about, because you said that, like what we're talking about, like porn, and now it's so. Most people have grown up now. It's just like second nature. I told you when I got out of prison, that's 15 years ago. It blew my mind away. I can imagine a young person. Even listen, if you're 20 years old listening to this, you don't remember porn. Obviously, you were 5 years old. You're not doing porn.
Right.
But you have to be your age, 30 years old and up. That you'd start 15 years old.
To
Now
remember,
now you remember. Oh fuck, what did I do to jack off? Because let's face it.
No, I had porn my whole life.
I said,
I had like internet porn my whole life.
Internet?
Yeah.
Really?
The first porn I've ever seen was on the internet. Wasn't in a magazine. I knew that magazines existed. I just never got to have my hand on one before I saw one on the internet. Which was at my friend's house. We were visiting Israel.
Israel, they come up with all the shit.
No, well, that's the thing. In Israel, it's taboo as fuck. Porn is not, you got to think about it. It's a Jewish country. So in Israel, it's a little bit more taboo. A newer country. Internet was just kind of its infancy in a way. You know what I mean? This was early 90s. I was at my friend's house, and he's like, hey, you want to see something really cool? And I said, okay. He took me on his brother's computer. His brother was in the military. He was older than him. He took me to his brother's computer, and he turned it on, and we loaded a photo. back then the internet was so slow that to
Dial-up modem?
it was dial-up modem, and after we connected to the internet, which took a few minutes, then he went to pick
How
up.
old were you?
You know, it's I want to say 9 or 10.
Oh, that
maybe
young?
11. Yeah,
You even knew what porn was at 9 or 10?
not exactly. You know, you don't exactly know what porn is. You just know that
I mean, you knew. I mean, you.
a naked
But you
photo.
got sexually aroused at that age?
No,
No. I mean, I don't.
no. We looked at it for the sake of looking at it.
Yeah,
Not
I
for-
got
not
you.
because it was like was not for the same value that you would watch.
Let me
porn
front
today.
my son. My son was 7. I had a limousine at the time. I'd send my driver out. I said, take him and his friends, if they want to go for a ride in a limousine, back, I said, the stretch limousines and shit.
Right.
Back at the bar in the back, the TV in the back, had VHSs in the back.
That used to be, for whoever doesn't know, if you had a limo.
Oh, you made it.
Oh, that's it. That's it. In the 90s, when a limo showed up, people knew somebody special arrived.
Oh, my God. It was like,
Right.
I used to go to clubs, had the drivers. So I tell my driver, I said, take my son and his friends. All of a sudden, they're dancing. They're literally dancing in the back. This is Larry. And we're dancing in the back and all that. All of a sudden, my driver said it got silent. So he brings down the thing, the partition.
Yeah.
And the kids are watching a porn that I had in the machine. Yeah, he was 7 years old.
7 fucking
He
years
didn't know what he
old.
was watching. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
that's exactly what we were
Yeah.
doing. So he takes forever to load the picture, and all that picture was a topless lady.
Yeah.
But we were giddy about it. By the time like half of her fucking tits loaded on the screen, we already turned.
And you didn't even
turned
know
it
what
off.
it was.
I mean, we knew it was not supposed. We knew it was a person without clothing. That's the only thing that mattered. You know what I mean? When you're that
So
young,
that's
you're
the
not
first
thinking-
time you actually seen a tit.
That was the
say.
first. Well, that wasn't like
And you don't remember when you were infant.
Yeah, that's
so,
true
yeah.
too. So it's not like I remember my mom. So yeah, you're right. That is the first. And you know what? I don't remember it exactly, but I still have a memory of that because we didn't watch the whole picture. The picture was loading, and as soon as you saw a little bit of nipple, we started giggling and turned it off and ran away. You know what I mean? It was that
Oh,
kind
you
of.
didn't even see
We were
it.
young. We saw it, but we didn't see the whole thing.
I get guys that I'll
Imagine
call,
your parents walking in on that.
Oh, I mean, they know what's going on. Come on, my dad had Playboy books. We used to fucking go in his closet and
That's
go
the
to.
thing. My dad never had any of that shit, or if he did, he was really good at hiding it.
Good at hiding
I
it.
never knew it existed. I don't think my dad.
I mean,
did.
I look at that. You get guys. Oh, I love that, but I'm not gonna. You ever see a guy? Oh, I don't look at the dick or whatever. I said, you're
What do you
watching a
mean you
guy
won't look at
fuck
the
a
dick?
girl. Of
Dick's
course, you're looking at dick.
50% of the shot.
At least,
You ever watch a blowjob video?
of course.
That's 80% dick. How do you
Exactly.
feel?
I don't give a shit.
No,
me,
for
but
real.
Yeah.
Somebody said that before, and I thought it was hilarious. If you watch a blowjob video, you're basically watching a dick,
Yeah.
right?
No, absolutely.
It's mainly dick.
I think too many people put too much emphasis on all that crap.
I think
you know that. I don't-
people who have secretly thought about the possibility of being gay, or
I think
that have
everybody has in their life.
thought about being gay.
Sure. Not thought about being gay because you don't think of it about that. You're
What do you
thinking about
think?
being with a guy or if you're a girl, being with a girl. If you're a guy, think of just because you might be in the gym, you might see somebody. Doesn't mean you did it. I know zillions of people. I would love to know the numbers.
I want to be honest. I want to be objective. I've never thought about fucking another guy.
I didn't say fucking another guy.
Yeah, so give me an idea of what you thought, and let me see if I can.
Okay, first of all, you're in the gym and you're in the shower and you look what he's got, and then you compare, and then now at some age when sexuality starts hitting, there's a zillion things that go through a kid's mind. That's why I try to tell parents when I actually educate them. I said, listen to me, your kid's got so much shit going in his head. He could be confused. He don't know what's going on, and you might. Let's just say your kid is gay. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay.
And he don't know it yet. Let's say. And you're a parent, and these parents that are, oh, look at that faggot, or doing something like that. That to
You can't say that fucking shit, Larry.
I just said I'm
right.
emphasizing what a person says. I'm
Right.
not saying it, obviously. But talking in that kind of way, in front of not knowing your kid, not knowing anything, not being bad, even, but talking, that puts a thing in the kid's head. If he was gay, or if he wanted to tell you, he's going to be scared.
Right.
So that's where I always try to tell parents, listen. Who knows today? And who gives a shit today? I really don't. I look at people all day. I could give a fuck what people do. You know me. I'm very easy, open.
I'm
I don't
becoming
give a
that
shit.
way too.
Well, you know why? Because why should, first of all, once you start judging people, anybody, you judge somebody that's not equal to you, then you start judging them about, oh, you don't have a good enough car. He's not worth to hang out with.
Oh,
or if
that's
he's,
bullshit.
Well, whatever. I'm saying, once you start judging, if you start judging that person, that means you're saying automatically you're better than that person.
Right.
Doesn't mean shit. Pete Buttigieg, Secretary
You know,
of
we
Transportation.
judge even when we don't want to.
Yes, but you got to try. I always check that myself, very much
Same.
so.
But in general,
And
you
I
know,
mean big time check. I really don't. Because first of all, listen, I'm not religious. You know that. So I'm not going to say, oh, let God judge people or that. Listen, I was debating that last night with people. And we're talking about the Bible. And I've read it 5 times cover to cover. And I did all this shit in the Quran and the Torah. The Torah, I love when people do Torah. It's the fucking first book of the Bible. You know, but anyway, there's more death, more destruction. And, there's never a mention of dinosaurs. Do you believe in dinosaurs?
I mean, there's no question whether or not you believe they existed.
Exactly.
There's
there's
physical
not
evidence.
one mention of dinosaurs in the Bible.
Yeah, because this happened way later. This is a history. The
Again,
Bible
but
is a
wait a minute.
history book.
Hold on, but in the Bible it says the world, God created the world. He saw light and he said it was, he saw light and he knew it was
see
good.
The light. He separated light from dark.
Right, and he saw it was good, is the words.
Right, exactly.
And first of all, he saw it was good, and he invented the world 6,000 years ago. Well, what about the fucking millions?
No. It doesn't mention but you're right. History starts 6,000 years ago, as far as that book is concerned. But it talks about the earth being a
the
void
world,
previous.
Adam and Eve, and the whole works.
No, well, that wasn't in the world. That was in heaven. Remember, that was pre-earth.
I'm just checking my cigar. but no, what I was getting at
That's
is
pre-earth.
there's so much in the Bible that is really disproved. If you want to, go that way, you can talk about. It says in the Bible that there's only one universe. Let me give a religious person. Does that? You don't. I know because you're Jewish, but a Christian person will call a person reverend. I don't care if it's Reverend Sharpton, Reverend Billy Graham.
Right.
You know what it says in the Bible on Psalms? Look it up, everybody. Psalms 111, verse 9. Holy and reverend is my name. Only place in the Bible they use the word reverend, and it's in as God.
That's humans associating themselves as gods.
Exactly. Right. Not only that, if you look up in a holy concordance, the word reverend means to hold in awe and fear. Do I hold another man in awe and fear? Fuck no. I don't give a fuck who he is. I won't call fucking anybody reverend, ever. Reverend Al Sharpton. You get the fuck. I hold you in awe and fear?
Yo, let me tell you something. You think that it's only reverends, but rabbis are the same thing.
Watch this. Another one. It says in the Bible, call no man thy father as fathers in heaven. Okay, Catholics. Hi, Father. Father what? They're not talking about your paternal father,
right.
Obviously. Talking about in the religious sense. Father? The fuck I call you? You want to call him deacon? You want to call him pastor? You want to call him clergy? Different things.
They took the statue of God on earth.
Right.
Right. That's what they did.
And fuck them. I don't give a fuck who you are. Now, listen, I always tell people with religion, I totally believe everybody, and some people, and I saw it in prison a lot. They use the Bible and religion to get through, and that's good.
Yeah.
And if you want to live by it, let's go to the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. You don't want his car. You don't think he's good. I don't meaning the thought of wanting something like that. That's wrong.
Shouldn't be jealous.
That's a
basically.
10 fucking commandment in this fucking crazy world we're living in.
Here's the thing: the 10 Commandments are the basic rules of any
doesn't
modern
make
society.
sense. You read through the fucking 10 Commandments. I did it last night with someone. You go read through the 10 Commandments, and I get it. Covet means to want and desire and heart and soul. Everybody has wanted something. Everybody, maybe a woman, they thought maybe or something in life. Now, nobody's pure, so you're breaking 10 Commandments. Now, in the Catholic religion, you got to go in front of another man
and confess
that. Who the fuck are you? If God's the way you say he is, I'm talking to him right now.
It's just a way of getting the info out.
Listen, I was in the hole when my buddy died, and I actually said, and I swear to you, I said this many times, I heard a voice, and it wasn't in my head. It was out. I was looking around it said I had plans for you because I was fucking crying. My buddy killed himself, and I said, why me? Why not me? And I heard the words. Now, I don't know if it's just fucking craziness in your head.
Doesn't matter. You heard it. For you, it's real.
It was fucking as real as the day is long. You walking in the door today.
Right.
As real as that.
Right.
So now, is that religion? I don't know. I tell somebody this. You ever see me come up and talk Jesus and all this shit go crazy? Jesus sat at my fucking table, whether I went crazy or not, and whether you believe I'm crazy or not. Jesus sat at my table and we had a conversation. Because I'm that kind of, I'm a very realistic person, and I read a lot, and I research a lot, and I do stuff. And the religious part, listen, if it makes you feel better, if you want to do good things, listen, anybody out there with religion, don't think I'm bashing religions. I don't like, per se, people telling other people in their own way. Because what you're saying, if you're Jewish and you're really into that, do you believe nobody's going to heaven except the Jew?
No.
Okay, see, in Catholics or Christians, they don't even believe Catholics are going. And people don't even know how the Catholic religion started. It started in 400 AD, which is after Christ, when Constantine, he was a fucking warrior, a king, Constantine. He saw a vision, and he saw crosses in the clouds. And he was going into battle, and he put the crosses on the chariots and everything, and the horses and the hats and everything.
I know the story.
Okay, and they won. So that's how the Catholic religion actually came about. And I'm like, and now you want to talk about real God and Jesus and everything, and walk with the poor, let out prisoners. Oh, but these guys, you know how much money the Vatican's got? I don't even want to know how much.
More than the rest of the world.
Probably. I don't know.
More of a fact these days.
Probably.
I mean, listen, just based on real estate alone. Those motherfuckers sit on some of the most expensive real estate on earth. Just that alone tells you what they have. That doesn't include the artifacts that they have from like you said, 6,000 years ago. Yeah. You know?
Priceless. I mean, actually priceless. Literally priceless.
So let me tell you something that a lot of people don't realize. Jews don't believe in your definition of hell. I don't either. You burn a fiery death? Yeah, no. So that's
I want to be cremated.
Or purgatory or anything like that.
I'm going in an oven. I want to be cremated.
Right. You're sending yourself to fire. No, but that's your body. That's not your soul, right? So the idea of your soul going to hell, that's not something the Jews believe in. They don't spend any time talking about what would happen if you were bad. What are you looking at?
No, I just look at the camera.
Oh, I thought I lost
I got
you
a new look. You know, I was going to get makeup. And so.
What?
No, I'm fucking with you. What the fuck?
But yeah, in general, like I said, and that's just something a lot of people don't know. So I'm mentioning it. The Jews don't spend any time talking about what would happen if you were bad. It's just about the fact that you need to be good.
But there's no hell in heaven then?
There is heaven. There is no hell.
What is heaven?
Heaven is just a place we end up in.
Because I asked somebody, how many billions and billions of people lived on this earth? Nobody ever came back and said, you know, heaven's pretty cool, man.
Right.
You know?
Well, I'm just telling you by religious standards. I can't tell you, you know, personally, I haven't made up my mind.
No, I get that. And listen, I'm 60 years old now. And I've read them, and I've been in holes where you can only have the book, so you read them. The Quran, it says you will die a fiery death if you kill an innocent. But they bastardize it to say, make you and me an infidel, enemy of Allah, and all of a sudden...
They justify why you're not innocent. Right.
So does the Christians. They do it all the time. They kill, you know how many people died in about... King David killed 5,000 people, killed his best friend, fucked his wife, took his wife. But he's now a fucking revered, you know... It just blows me away.
Solomon.
You know, I mean, it just doesn't that blow you away?
I mean, here's the thing. All these stories are exactly that, bro.
Story.
Yeah.
You know,
that's I even as a kid, and listen, I grew up in a somewhat religious house. So not religious, but somewhat. You know, we had a sense of religion. And I always heard the stories as stories. My father was a very realistic person. He questioned everything. If the rabbi, which my dad hates the word rabbi, just like you said, reverend, I was starting to say. For the same reasons, by the way. There's no reason for me to go into it because it's exactly the same. Rabbi does not exist in the religion at all. That's something
it's a made-up thing.
It's a modernized, godlike, complex person that you have to go to connect with God. No, close your eyes, talk. You're dead.
Thank you.
That's how it's supposed to be, whether you believe it or not. But my point is, you know, I grew up knowing that there was a lot of bullshit that's clouding the truth, if there is a truth. So my dad, you know, although Jewish and a believer, has questioned everything to a point where he was kicked out of synagogue before. Because he's like, you're not making any fucking sense, and you're straight up teaching bullshit to these kids, and I'm not going to sit here and let you do it. That's my dad, you know?
I like that.
No, you know, my dad's is like me and you. He's a street guy, you know? He's not he's not your average sit there and let the guy talk just because he's the guy. Fuck you, who are you? Exactly like we would say.
Absolutely.
And so growing up like that, you know, my mom, she was just like, follow everything blindly, you know? Religion is religion. God's
my mom's like that now.
I know, but my father was the other way. So I grew up in a healthy mix. I got the religious side of it, so I grew up in somewhat of a religious home. But we respected religious. We weren't religious. We respected the religion, and I grew up with somebody who questioned every fucking thing, no matter who told him. I mean, short of God coming down and speaking to him
Like
himself,
I am,
and you
yeah.
already said that nobody ever came back and told you how it was. So there's no fucking proof. Now, the things that you can say from the Bible that happened, things based on life as it was back there, because after all, it is history. Fine, I'll believe in that stuff.
But there's an old thing I used to tell people, and they say, "Oh, the story." So first of all, the old stuff is done in Hebrew and all the different, in scrolls and
Aramaic.
whatever, Aramaic and
Aramaic.
Aramaic. Okay.
That's the first written down language of any religion.
So you look at that and you say that, just take us. We have how many guys we go to lunch with? Or let's take a Wednesday.
Right.
If I told
Wednesday's
a story,
a light day. Let's say 6 people.
right? I sit down and tell you a story, 2-minute story, 3-minute story. And I say, pass it around.
Oh,
By the time it
phone
gets to
effect.
me, fucking that thing is a fucking totally different.
Game
Especially
of telephone.
with me.
We played that when we were kids. If we sit in a circle and I whisper something into your ear, by the time it makes a full circle, it's a different fucking story.
And now, how are you going to do this with the fucking those scrolls?
6,000 years.
Who had to interpret it and all this shit and crazy?
Right. You
crap?
couldn't.
Well, you look at a Bible. I could take a King James Bible and another kind of Bible.
And they're both different. Why is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's because two places. I've asked
Interpret
that
it.
before. Right. Two different people interpreted it differently from two different parts of the world. Remember, they didn't have the internet, or they didn't even have. They couldn't communicate with one another. They'd send letters back and forth when they had that ability.
They didn't even know that.
No.
yet.
My point is, when they had the ability, and that, how old is letter sending? Would you say 4?
Letter sending?
Yeah, the idea of sending something,
A message,
A
like
messenger,
courier or
yeah.
however they're going to do it. That's something we're going to be getting. Just to let everybody know, the reason I'm looking at cameras and stuff, because we're changing everything around. We're going to have a screen. We're going to be able to do a whole bunch of stuff here. That's going to be that make this whole studios really kick ass. And when we do call-ins or whatever we're going to do, and we do that from Discord. Now, you don't see many podcasts do that, but we're going to do that from Discord. And our Discord guys, that's where we get Meth Head Mike and whoever wants to. We're still looking for Meth Head Jane, aren't we?
I mean, I'd like to find a. She doesn't have to have done meth. Maybe an ex-meth head or a crackhead or ex something that's trying to get her life clean together. And if she could reach out to us, or if you know her and you want to hook her up with us, so we can potentially hook her up with Mike, we'd love to do that for you.
You fucked it up right there. You just said hook up. Once they fucking, you shouldn't have said hook him up with Mike. Just
What would you say?
don't fucking mention him.
Hook her up with
Nobody. She wants to come on and tell us about her story and stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That's different.
Oh, I thought we were talking. See, I'm making the association from
well,
what you said to Mike last
we
time.
need Mike for ratings. Isn't that what he said?
I mean, it's necessary.
Oh, fuck,
The
is he
ratings are
nuts.
going to drop if we don't.
I got to get on Discord with him and fucking.
You want me to see if he's around?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't fucking set it up again.
Nah,
we'll do
don't
it
worry
next
about
time.
it. Yeah, we got, like I said, matter of fact, the guy for construction wanted to come today. Can't. I got business.
Okay.
So tomorrow he's going to start this. He's getting the table, the 6-foot table, and
No, but all this shit's going down?
yeah, everything going to be down. And we got to. Did you look for that guy with the?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I've got some
Okay,
news on
good,
that. Yeah.
good. That's good. And so this place, I'm telling you, it's going to be tall. There's going to be one spot I'm going to put a green screen. So if we want to do something there, this is going to be a whole fucking different
Green
animal.
screen.
Yeah,
You could do your videos on the moon.
yeah. Oh, fucking A.
Isn't that how they did the moon landing? On a green screen?
Oh, you mean the conspiracy that we
So
really never
how do
landed?
fuck it. We talk about random shit all the time. Let's ask about that. How does Larry feel about the moon landing?
It happened.
It happened?
I'll tell you why. Because I have a T-shirt I sell in our merch. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead.
You
This
couldn't
shit-
keep that secret.
I mean, there's too many fucking people that have
Right.
it. Just like whether it's JFK or whatever, And
by now, I
get
think
it.
it would have came out.
Yeah, there's just too much. When there's too many people involved, there's no way. We know that. We have friends, and you can't fucking keep a fucking word from one guy knowing fucking, oh, he said this shit,
That's
oh,
so
this guy.
true.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
We laugh. And I
That's
even
true.
say to them, what fucking you remember what happened one time? And I'm like, this is childish shit. Are you fucking kidding? You remember that? I'm not going to get
yeah.
into the incident.
Yeah.
But I'm like, get the fuck out of it. Now that's just grown adult men. Now you take fucking these, like a big thing where there's hundreds of people.
You know what I'm starting to learn later on in life now? I didn't know this. If you asked me 5 years ago, I didn't know. I learned that as you get older, you find reasons to be petty.
I don't. I'm less than that.
Maybe,
I go the opposite way.
all right, maybe you're not like that, but I think as you get older and things become a little more firm in your life. You know, you no longer have money problems. Everybody's healthy. Houses are paid off. Cars. You start looking for something to fucking do. Now, I'm not saying
That
you're
might
doing
be
it.
rich people, for real.
No. I'm saying that in less words, but you went ahead and said it. Yeah, I mean that. If you're so fucking comfortable that you've got nothing going on morning, night, you basically have to think of things to like rattle your life. I mean, to get a little fucking action going.
I believe that.
You know what I mean? So
That's why I'm so busy.
talking about specifically about the incident that you brought it up, and we're not going to mention it here. Trust me, guys, you don't want to hear about it. It's fucking petty.
It's
and
stupid.
dumb. It's stupid.
And we're all adults here.
You know,
think.
it's something so petty that I think could only be brought up by somebody who was bored, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, I look at, I think I was telling someone the other day, I actually get myself now, nothing bothers me like it, you know, could have years ago, you know what I mean, or whatever. And that
Things still
listen,
bother everybody. We're all
Everybody
bothered by
things get
shit,
bothered you know that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not talking being late. You know that's a bother with me.
Yeah.
That's just it is. I mean, that's just but it's not
Right.
gonna fucking change. Listen, I mentioned it.
And
It
then
goes
it's
out the fuck.
That's
you
it.
know,
Right. Well, you don't
totally.
let it. You don't fucking dwell on it.
Oh,
Right.
Listen, again, I understand second chances. I understand mistakes. I understand. Listen, I have zero. I could argue with somebody if I literally, and they go, "Are you still mad about what?" That's the first
You
thing.
forget what it is,
I
right?
actually forget what it is. Or
Right.
what, come on.
I'm learning how to do that with my kids. My kids are teaching me
Yeah.
that you can be angry the 1 second and loving the next.
I've seen your change from your 25 to 35, whatever your age, 36,
Yeah.
26, whatever it was. I see it.
Just from having kids, I think.
And we weren't as close back then.
I mean,
But I
we
see,
knew each
yeah,
other
we
well.
went to
saw each other
lunch
every
and all
day,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff. But it wasn't like now. I mean, we're together almost every day.
Right.
And we'd be together 3-4 times a week during lunch and stuff.
Right.
And you saw it. It's an evolution of everything.
Right.
I know I was a fucking crazy, hothead fucking mother who would pull a pistol as quick as fucking shake your hand.
Right.
I mean, I was not right. And I that's why I love that I'm alive. And I think about that a lot. And I said, now, listen, it would take me so much to get to that level. It'd have to be like someone hurt my mother or hurt my kids or grandkids, you know.
But even
something.
that, I would not let you have free rent in my head. Even you can't bother me enough for me to dwell on it all day.
Right, because I always tell people that if somebody, you know, you think someone hates you, so what? Who gives a fuck? You know why? Because by him hating you and you letting that bother you, first of all, you're trying to please everybody. Second of all, now you're letting that guy, he don't know that you give a shit and you're pissed and you're all this and you
No.
hate. He's fucking moved on.
Right.
And now you're fucking letting this guy bother you for the next year.
Absolutely not.
It
I just
fucking-
would not do it.
Right. You
that's-
said rent space in your head. You're 100%.
And it's not even paying you rent.
Yeah, good point.
You know, here's the thing. We should worry about things that we can do something about. We should worry about, you know, if I can't make my bills, I should go and find a way to do it, whether it's a better
Another job,
a
second job, whatever.
promotion, anything, you know, just try to hustle your way through. So I think that there's certain things that you do need to dwell on, you know?
But I don't think you should dwell on 'em.
Okay, dwelling is the wrong term.
Right.
You're right. As soon as I said that, I regret the term that I used.
And you know I'm the catcher.
Right, but right. Here's the thing. I don't want to give somebody that I have no way of changing their mind any
Satisfaction.
right. Well, satisfaction is one thing, but forget it. Fuck them. Right. I'm not even talking about them. Assuming you disconnected with them, why sit here and say, Larry, you know that guy bothered me so bad. You know, all day I was fucking pissed off about it. Bro, your day is your day, and it could be your last fucking day. Enjoy
100%.
it. Smoke a fucking cigar.
Crooked diamond.
A crooked diamond cigar. No, for real. Smoke a cigar. Smoke a joint. Go to the beach and just spend some time by yourself looking into nothing. Meditate, you know? Do anything that makes you feel better. If there's a chance that you can feel 1% better for the rest of the day, and this is your last day on earth, fucking take it.
You know, 100%. That's why, you know, everybody has their own medical, like Teresa and people around me know this. They say, man, you just, you know me with the heart, with the arm, going to the lunch. You sometimes think, you say, listen, what happens? Oh, you're going to worry, you know, fuck it. I'm not saying you don't be stupid. Believe if you're out there and something's wrong, you go get it taken care of,
Absolutely.
obviously. But I'm not one that dwells on. I mean, I'm just not. I you know, and I think that's a lot of men actually that do that. You know, I know people who are hypochondriacs. They go to the fucking doctor every fucking, you know.
Oh, shit.
You
Me
know.
too.
And you know, doctors are. We're gonna get into that one day. What a
Doctors
scam, too.
they're a fucking and let's just put it this way.
We hang out with a
we
lot
hang out
of
with a lot of doctors.
and
you know.
and good, very well renowned doctors.
And those aren't the people that we're talking about. We're going to put things into perspective like we did when we talked about cops. There are good cops and there are bad cops. There are good lawyers and bad lawyers. There are good judges and bad judges. You name whatever it is.
There's a good and a bad.
And everything. And I think doctors are the same. The only problem that I have with doctors and why I hold them to a higher standard is because we trust them with our lives quite fucking literally.
Well, that's what I take about cops. Same thing.
We trust them with our freedom, which is just as fucking important.
And your life, he shoots you.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, come on. I mean,
no. Listen, I know that. I'm just saying. My point is, doctors are. Here's the thing: when you see a cop, it is your responsibility to know the law yourself and to know that they can't fucking whip you around, right? I mean, you want to educate.
But here's the difference with a cop or anybody else. You don't have a second opinion with a cop. You confront it. It's done. Court. It's done. No. I mean, if
he's the executioner too.
He can. Doctor, no matter what he says to you, you can say, hey, listen, okay.
You can go get a second
opinion and some other guy and a third opinion or whatever.
But you know that the common look at a doctor is if they're fucking they know it all. Yeah. And you and me know, bro. And the fact of the matter is that they don't. And Absolutely. I think it takes the best doctor in the world, I won't name any names, people that we know, to say, I'm not going to name the name, but I've seen somebody walk to our surgeon friend who's very, 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 very good at what he does, and they asked him something, and he said, you know what, that's not my expertise. He says, I can give you some advice, but I don't want you to take it. I want you to go get an opinion from a specialist, somebody who does this for a living. Because you know what he told me, and I didn't know this before I met him, but he said, every single form of medical is separate from the other. Everybody's got a specialist. And guess what? If you take the specialist advice and it was the wrong advice, it's not your mistake. It's their mistake.
So that doctor that told me to do cocaine instead of butter, do cocaine.
Is that a real story?
No, I was fucking with
that. You made that up, right?
Of course.
I was going to say, here's the thing, because you were so good at telling these fucking bullshit stories.
Oh, that was that good one.
I mean, you left it. You never told us it was bullshit. They still don't know.
Oh, I know.
That's fucking hilarious. Hey, let me dap you on that.
Oh, come on.
So Larry goes to lunch, and we're sitting with a couple of doctors. Now, these are doctors that are later in life. They've been doctors for 40
and well renowned, in their fields. Yeah, very
right.
Good.
Not your right.
General just guy. These are surgeons
or specialists, right. So we're sitting there, and Larry's telling a story about
heavy.
Right. They're everybody loves Larry, and they are good friends, and they say, you're a fat fuck, lose some weight. And Larry's, in a joking manner, he says, my heart's healthy, though. You might look at me, I'm big, but my heart's healthy. And they say, but what do you mean your heart's healthy? You've had stents and shit put in. And he says, well, my heart itself is healthy, but what was the
Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker, right.
The main fucking artery.
So then he says, and this was separate, and this is how I knew that he was kind of setting him up for something. That's why I had to ask him now, because he never fucking specified.
I love it.
He set him up. He says, I talked to a doctor. I'm not going to tell you the name. Now, these are doctors that know every fucking doctor
exactly.
in town. They know everybody, right? So these guys, they say, they go, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you which doctor said this, but I was told, and you're going to say it.
He said to me, doctor, I told the guys, I said, the doctor told me, listen, you're better off doing cocaine than butter because your arteries are get clogged, and we don't want to clog your artery. You got new arteries. Cocaine, what's it going to do? It's not going to clog your artery. And you got a strong heart.
No, he says it as serious as you just said it right now. And if you're watching the video, look at his fucking eyes when he says it. So then,
fucking funny.
Then, a couple days go by and I see those guys. Larry's not there.
No, they were talking at the thing. And then I said, I'm not kidding.
Before that, because this was when you weren't there. A couple days go by and they're talking about it. And they're like, can you believe fucking Larry's doctor said that to him? The one guy says, no, the guy didn't say that to him. Then the guy from across the table who loves Larry, he goes like, listen, Larry doesn't lie about shit like this.
I was fucking with them so hard.
And then just to find out that it really was a fucking joke.
They don't know, and if they don't listen to this, they're not going to know.
Oh, my God.
And they probably don't. They're fucking 70-plus years old.
Yeah, no.
Both of the ones that I fucking with hard. They were telling that story at fucking how big we have every month. We have a big dinner for birthday dinner. We have about 15, 18,
even
20
if there's
guys.
no birthday, we get together. That's our excuse. We get together once a month. If there's somebody who has a birthday that month.
And there's like a lot of people. 18, 20 people sometimes.
And it's growing, man.
It's a great time.
It started with you, Louie, and Joe.
Me, Louie, and Joe, then Tony,
and Frank.
And then it's gone, more and more.
I joined that later because I didn't even live in town when you guys started.
Oh, no, we started at the month I got out of prison.
Right.
The month and you know where we did it? The first one?
The Dove.
No.
Where?
Ichabod's.
Oh shit! no.
Ichabod's on
Right.
the river there.
Look at that,
And
shout out.
Joe gave me a bag. He gave me because it was birthday. That was the whole thing. He gave me a briefcase bag.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because he didn't want this is gonna be your first bag. I don't have it anymore because that thing fucking broke or whatever.
People don't even use briefcases anymore.
I got one, not a briefcase. It's a computer bag, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, but you never hold it like that when you walk in. It's usually like around. And here's the thing: didn't you tell me the other day when we were traveling that you wanted to get a backpack?
Yes.
Yeah. see, briefcases are a thing of the past. Man.
Yeah, I know.
It's not a thing that people use anymore. There was a
Well,
time.
it might be for big executives. I don't know anymore. Let's face it. You get CEOs that got to go.
No,
to a
because
meeting.
everything that used to be in your briefcase is now
Oh.
right here. This is your briefcase, and it
Yeah.
fits in your pocket.
Computer.
Do you remember
Literally
Palm
computer.
Pilots when they
Oh,
first?
sure.
You were in prison. I know.
I remember.
That.
No, I remember when they came out.
You remember the Palm Pilot, like
Right.
the first
I've never
reiteration
had
of
one
it.
ever in my
That's
life.
the thing. They came out about 3 years before you went to jail.
90s.
How many of them did you steal?
No, no. Back the big thing when I was younger, or in that era, what we stole was like VCRs were big. Getting a first
about
they had
car
Beta.
radios?
Beta went away. You remember Beta was like the first.
I don't remember it, but I know what it is. Yeah.
Right. And then it went to fucking, and that was probably 89, 90, or whatever the fuck it was. And then VCRs were a big deal, man. And they used to be everywhere. And they were expensive as shit. You remember when big screen TVs came out when they had the fucking, you might not even remember that. They had fucking big, like a projector that went onto the screen.
Hell yeah, I remember. We had
in
one.
the front. Yeah. and
We
it
had
was like-
one.
that
We
was a-
didn't buy it new. We bought it like 3 years used. Some guy was moving out of his house and couldn't move it out of his basement. It was that big. So my
Oh,
dad
yeah.
and my dad and his buddy went and got it out of the basement. The guy was like, "All right, listen. Instead of paying you to move it, you could just have it." And my dad was like, "Fine."
Oh, yeah, I'll take
Fuck.
that. They were expensive as shit, too,
did you
man.
did you have a TV in the bathroom?
in the bathroom?
Yeah, because you had these big mansion style houses.
No,
Did
no,
you
no.
ever
no.
have a
When,
TV
when
in
we
the
were,
bathroom?
first of all, we were young. We didn't.
There was a time, guys. There was a time that
No.
people put TVs and phones
Oh,
in the bathroom.
absolutely. Oh, phones.
You could
more
still
than
go,
anything.
well, the
You
phone.
see it in some hotels, actually,
Stuff-
in Vegas.
right? Still to this day.
In Vegas. It's funny because you talk about like what I remember. And first of all, I remember the first remote control. The first remote control.
Clicker.
The clicker. You know what it was? My dad smacking me in the head, telling me to change the channel.
You were the fucking remote control.
Right, your dad literally changed the channel.
That's back
First of
when
all,
they
we
still
had
had, like-
7 channels, right, that died. Then I remember when it came out with a wire from the TV to your dad's chair.
Sheesh. See, I don't even remember that.
Yeah, that was
I was born
early.
into RF technology.
Oh, absolutely. I'm now talking when I was a kid. So now you're talking 1960s.
Do you know what RF is?
Radio frequency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't. I mean, obviously. And I remember we didn't have a color TV at first.
Right.
That was they were out.
Your first TV, you used to turn it on and took it about 15 minutes to warm up.
Oh,
and get a
warm up
picture.
the tubes,
Right.
and then we had we had rabbit ears. First of all,
Those I know well because there were even the advanced version of the rabbit ears were.
they have it today.
No, everything is converted to digital now.
No. Listen, you can buy right now. Go on, $15. You buy a thing that plugs in, and it's an antenna.
a digital to analog converter.
And
Right.
because then you can get over the air. I get it in the RV.
Right.
Same way.
I know,
It's
but
an
that's
antenna.
a digital to analog converter because all TVs are now digital. There was a time where TVs had an analog plug in the back.
Right, you're right.
And all you needed was the antenna, no converter in the
Right.
middle. And those things they weren't cheap. I remember Radio Shack used to have like the good one for like that looked like a fucking like a NASA thing, but a little one. You remember those?
I
The black
totally
ones.
remember. I bought an antenna like that.
That
in
was
my
like
sister's
$100.
house.
I wanted one so bad.
You remember the antennas? Everybody had an antenna on their roof.
Of course, if you didn't have an antenna, you didn't watch TV.
Right.
Everything
and when I grew up, I mean, this is in, again, 60s or late 60s, 70s.
This is before cable. And by the way, guys,
cable.
that's why they call it cable, because it plugged into your TV and it wasn't through an antenna.
Listen,
it was
we
a cable
had
to the
7 fucking channels. And this is New York City. Like a big market.
house. That was more channels than anybody else in the country at the time.
Mostly,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
because we had 2.
You said mostly or for sure?
2, 5, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, and 11. Oh, and PBS. So it's 7. Yeah, 7 channels.
I know, but I'm pretty sure that was the most channels in the country at the time.
I believe so.
It has to be. It's fucking New York.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And you know which states got it after? Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut,
right around New
Massachusetts.
York.
Oh, for sure. I guarantee it. You know why? Because as the technology grew, they realized that people would want to watch the New York channels. Because I remember when I was a kid.
I don't know because Kennedy was the first president to be on TV. John F. Kennedy, and that was he got killed in '63.
Right.
So they had to have enough TV.
No.
in place.
Everybody had 1 or 2 channels. My point
Right.
is, New York is what started that like massive amount of channels. Because I remember TVs with 3 channels. I remember a TV that literally only had 3 channels. So you buy that TV in New York, you're fucked. You can't watch all the channels available.
I don't remember that because they had.
Now you got to remember, I was poor. I was poor, and a lot of the shit that
You
we
think
were
we were
getting
rich?
was secondhand. No, I know, but secondhand stuff. You know, and we would get these TVs that I will never forget this. This is a story. Might not be the most interesting story, but it's something that I'll never forget. I was
You got my bracelet on, don't you?
no.
I'll never forget.
Oh yeah, well hashtag never forget. That's true. By the way, I was giving them out, but
Oh, were you?
so listen to this story. Ready? Real quick.
Oh,
before I
to the porn stars?
Yeah, I did. I gave a couple of them away.
Oh, Eddie.
I had a few on my arm, so I was just giving them away.
Yeah, I told you. I actually tell my guys when we go out.
Good,
We have
that's
2 of them.
Good, so that's what
Because when
did.
I meet somebody and say, "Oh, I know you from," I usually give them a bracelet. So that's what I do, and I usually keep a few extras in my bag because that happens. Usually, it didn't happen this time on the airplane
What?
that I was recognized at the airport. A lot of times I am.
Oh yeah, and we weren't wearing masks.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though I'd recognize you without a mask, but I know you a little better than most.
You mean with the mask, you'd recognize.
With
me.
a mask?
Oh,
That's what I meant. Yeah. Anyway, so listen to this story. I'll never forget this, and I think everybody's got a weird childhood story like this that might not be the craziest thing, but they still remember. My dad picked me up from school, which wasn't a common occurrence. My dad usually worked. He picked me up from school, and as we were driving maybe a block away from school, there were still kids hanging out on the street. My dad saw a TV like next to the garbage, and we're not trash pickers, bro. My dad was like adamant about that, but he loved TVs, and he was an electrician, so he knew how to fix them. So he saw that TV. He's like, I bet you I could fix that TV pretty fucking easily. I was like, Dad, please don't. And he pulled the fucking car over, and next to my friends, he like held me back. TVs were fucking heavy as shit. It wasn't what it is now. And he had me help him put it in the back seat. And I was so fucking embarrassed, bro. I was like, oh my God, I'm picking up a trash TV, you know, with my dad. And like kids are like, this was right by my school. People were walking around. People were actually, you know how it is if you feel like people are looking at you, even if they're not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I just, as a kid, man, I was just fucking mortified. But I'll never forget this. And the reason I remember this story so well is because we got home and within a minute that TV was running. You know what the problem with that TV was?
tube.
It wasn't a tube. It was literally a fucking fuse. There's a little fuse on the back that if the fucking thing got an electric spike or something, it would go. And my dad just happened to have one laying around, being the electrician that he is, and he just knocked it in there, and we had a new TV. And he said, "See, we picked it up, and 10 seconds later it was a TV." So about a year later, we were moving from that house to another. We used to move a lot, and my dad
Beat the rent.
My dad sold that TV for $50. And he was so fucking happy. He came over to me. He's like, "Guess how much I sold that trash pick TV? $50 fucking dollars, dude." You know, and I thought that was, and you know what? I remember that story well. And there's one thing I would change about that story. I wouldn't have been embarrassed to pick it up. I shouldn't have been
No,
embarrassed.
you know, I look at that all the time. You know, and that's a big problem today with people. They try to keep up with the Joneses. You know that. We know some people like that.
Bro,
and-
we live in you and I are a testament to people who don't try to keep up with the Joneses.
Look at our friends.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Could we?
I think I could keep with some of them.
Do we?
No,
There's no fucking reason.
some
to.
I can't.
Oh well, no. Listen, I don't care how beautiful you are. There's somebody
Yeah,
prettier.
I
I
tell
don't
that
care
all
how
the time.
smart
Biggest
you are.
dick.
Somebody
No, I
smarter,
tell all
biggest
that.
dick, and especially with rich. I don't care how much money you have. There's always an
Absolutely.
Elon Musk looking around the corner
Right.
from a bush. Or
No,
something.
absolutely. But I never was like
we
that.
never talked about him taking over Twitter. What do you think? Do you have an opinion on it?
You know, there's a couple of things I have. Man, we fucking this out goes quick. I wanted to
How
talk
long has it
about.
been?
I wanted to talk about the four guards in Miami who got indicted for killing the inmate. There's another. I'm doing a video today
Yeah.
about going out tomorrow about this guard that fucking took this 6'9" guy out, a murderer in Alabama.
Right.
All of a sudden, they disappeared. At first, they're saying, "Oh, she might have been kidnapped," but then they find out the car was left somewhere. The guard that took her out was supposed to have 2 people. She was allowed to because she was like a supervisor. Why and then she was saying she was going to a mental health evaluation. There was no appointment set up. Now, was she? And I'm gonna talk about this on the thing. Was she actually? You know, did he own something or something like that? You know, like that. I don't know. That could have been. You know, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many things going on right now with prisons and the guards and these 4 guards that fucking killed this fucking inmate. Is the inmate Listen, the inmate threw fucking piss on him. I've seen it a dozen times. I was pissed on my guards, but
you know, it's
they killed him.
How
They
is it to
killed him.
hear a story about shit like this? Something you've experienced when you hear it.
I actually, when I did the video on that,
Do you get draw?
I fucking had the shakes. You know, not shakes. I get goosebumps and like, you know, it took me. I told people one time. They said it took me a long time before I said I wouldn't kill that guy. Literally, I used to dream about how I'd
Just
kill
talking
him.
about how we don't, you know, not to let people.
No,
bother you
you're
and
right.
stuff.
It took me a long time to, again, age and time and everything else has got me. I don't even think about him. I actually even think about this. How sad is his life? He must go home and his wife must beat the shit out of him or something. And he has to abuse a guy who's in chains and cuffs and
What
at
kind
the
of
lowest
bullshit
point.
life is he going
Oh,
through? Right.
He's got to have a worse life. And you
you
almost pity him.
Do you feel bad for him?
Nah, I don't give a fuck.
Fuck that guy.
Listen,
I don't give a shit what draws you to do something like that. I'm gonna be totally fucking honest. I don't care if this isn't the political correct way of saying this. I don't give a fuck how bad your life is. I don't care if you were raped. I don't care if you were beat. I don't care if you have a bad home life. To go and do that to somebody else. To go and fucking beat somebody else. To go and stab somebody else. To go and piss on somebody else under the pretense of professionalism, under work. I don't give a fuck what made you do it. I swear one of the things that bothers me the most is, I'm a rapist, but I was raped as a child.
wait, listen, I can understand it.
Understanding is one.
Right. Exactly what you're going to say. I can understand
We agree then.
it.
We agree
But
then.
of course, there's no in my. Listen,
I
everybody.
I can understand it, but I do not feel
Listen,
bad.
everybody who listens to this radio, I don't care if you're fucking 12 or 15, let's say, you know right from wrong. There comes a time in your life, no matter what happened to you, you have to start making the right choices. Or you're going to be a fucking product of your own system. You're going to be in the system. You're going to be crying about it all your life. Oh, me, oh, me, oh, me. Well, you know, you could take a lot. You can look at presidents. Clinton had a drunk father used to beat him.
Right.
Became the president of the United fucking States.
Right.
Fucking Obama, Rhodes Scholar from Oxford and fucking Yale. Come on, these guys didn't grow up. He was raised by his grandmother. So you could talk about.
There's plenty of people who've made a lot with their lives that come from literally nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Exactly.
That had no chance to begin
So,
with.
and I'm not
something.
pointing at everybody, but I think there
But
comes
you know,
a time
I think
in a right
15 is too young
to what?
to know right from wrong.
Oh no.
It is. Well, here's the thing: right from wrong in what way?
I'll tell you
Knowing
what.
that you shouldn't kill
I'll tell
somebody.
you. Wait. We did a study on this. Actually.
Okay.
When I was doing my reality check program and I developed it, we found out there's a point in your life. Now your son, I won't mention his name. Your son, he knows not to touch the stove because it's hot.
Right, because he's touched it.
But he doesn't know the consequences of having no fingers and feeling his fingers. It's called consequences. At about 11 years old, depending on some are later, some are earlier, people start on like when you give discipline to somebody, you take their phone, right? This has been done. Now, the kid takes his phone and you take it for a week. I'm just saying a teenager.
Okay.
Now now they're going to test you again. You take it for 2 weeks. And now you tell him, okay, the third time you do something, I'm taking it for a 3 week. Now that kid knows that he's got a party coming up in a month. He's got to call his friends. He can't get it. He understands the consequence, so he doesn't do that act. Fuck, if I do it, I'm going to fucking lose my phone. I ain't doing it. That's called consequence. We know it as adults as you're going to go to jail or you're going to do something like that.
Everything has its consequence.
Consequence.
Sure.
But at about 11, you start understanding consequence. Now, you might have your tweaked view on exactly what's
From
right
a
and
medical
wrong.
standpoint?
From medical standpoint, 25.
That's what I mean. I think
Now, the human brain doesn't mature to 25. This is not my number.
I just talked to a 15-year-old Saturday.
Right.
So, quick history on how I got to talk to a 15-year-old. I don't own one.
You don't own one?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm glad. Jesus. I didn't think we were
Just the
fucking
way I
back
said
in
it.
fucking the 1800s.
No. So my neighbor across the street from me is really into motorcycles, and I've had a bunch of them and stuff, and he always comes and talks to me about it. He's a 15-year-old kid. So perfect example. We were talking about motorcycles, and I just got an electric bike. Now, an electric motorcycle is a little different because you get the torque instantaneously. Just to give you an idea,
It's like a golf cart.
the first time I sat on it, I looped it.
Okay.
And I've been riding motorcycles literally since I was 8 years old. So I've been riding them my whole life. And I looped it. The first time I hit that throttle, it went above me and around me. And I fell on my back and I laughed my ass off because I was like, that's dumb of me to not anticipate this torque. I thought it was going to be like a regular dirt bike. Anyways, long story short, I'm talking to this fucking guy, the kid, and he tells me, can I ride your electric bike? And I said, hey, listen, it's really torquey and stuff. That's the only reason I don't want to let you. And he says, what? And he's got his own bike. He said, I've been riding my dirt bike, blah, blah, blah. I know what torque is, da, 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 da. And I said, I don't think you understand. You're going to fall on your fucking ass. You're going to break my bike. You're going to piss me the fuck off. And you're going to hurt yourself. And then I got to deal with your fucking dad, who's going to come knock on my fucking door. Why'd you let my son fucking fall on your bike? No. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. He says, can I just take it for a small ride? I'm going to go get my helmet. I said, sure. If you get your helmet, then fine. He ran, got his helmet. I let him on my bike. What do you think he did? The first thing he said on it?
Crashed it or whatever.
He looped it immediately.
Now, but I'm going to go credit. Teresa, I have electric bikes. They're souped up to go 30 miles an hour.
This goes 80.
Oh, it's like a motorcycle.
It's a motorcycle. It's not. I say bike, but I don't mean a bicycle.
Okay,
I mean,
I got bikes that go 30.
Okay.
Whatever. It could fucking crash or whatever.
Yeah, those things are still fucking quick too.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
fucking exactly.
Yeah.
She ran into the garage. Knows it now. Knows the consequence. Ran into the fucking garage twice.
Well, so
the
here's
fucking
why
garage.
a 15-year-old doesn't know shit. So he loops it.
But you're not.
He loops it. Hold on. He loops it. He gets up. He's like, oh shit. He's scared of it. Now he's gonna respect it, right? He touched the stove. His hand burnt. Right? What does human nature say? Don't get your hand burned again. Now go at it slow. Fucking looped it the second time.
But listen, that's not understanding consequences in the way I'm talking.
You understood
about.
it. The kid was shaking.
Exactly. But you understand the consequences of going fucking 100 and something miles an hour.
Well, I do it anyway.
Exactly. My point to you is, you know it. Everything you still decide. Your brain decides to do it.
When we were in my car and we were on 95.
People will do that.
When we were in my car and we were on 95, we were going 130, 140, whatever we were doing that day. And you were telling me to slow down. Were you scared of the consequence, or you just don't trust me at that speed?
No, I was scared of consequences.
Because you would do the same fucking thing.
I do. But I was scared of the consequences. And not of getting arrested. I'm not getting arrested.
You don't want to
The
die.
consequences of me getting killed.
There's a big consequence there, right?
Right. But listen, no matter what it is, we all weigh the consequences when. But it's about 11 you start understanding. So when you tell me a 15-year-old goes and robs something, robs a bank or robs something, he knows that's not right thing, and he knows he's going to go to jail. I mean, but he's not giving it now.
He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand the consequence fully. Is my point.
Well, his brain is not fully developed. But listen, hold on. He understands the consequence. There is a consequence. Under about 10, Levi has whoever, any person out there, young, 5 years old, 3 years old, they don't understand. They couldn't even pronounce the word consequences or know the definition of a consequence.
Well, my kids are smart, but
listen, you know what I'm saying.
No, I know.
My point to you.
No, I agree with you.
Well, we've done a study on that.
There's
that's
a
why
different.
When you discipline kids,
so fine.
You got to know that.
Can we agree on this? That maybe they don't understand the consequence before 11, but but between 11 and let's say 25, the consequences are lighter than they are.
Well, that's why sentences are lighter. That's why they have
should be anyway.
Well, they are under 24.
Right.
If you look, that's technically you could call it a youthful offender.
Oh, you should have
Under 24.
represented me.
I
was under
20.
24.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that meant a lot.
It didn't.
You know what I meant? Like
Tried as an
louder
adult.
down the line. Of course, you're gonna be trying to. Kid who murders someone.
They wouldn't even. Let me just tell you this. You guys haven't heard a whole lot about me, but I'll just tell you this, just because you understand it. When we were doing preliminaries, right, and they were briefing what was going to be the jury, we never ended up. But when they were briefing, you know what they said?
What?
We are not going to have any consideration of him being the age.
They can say what they want. They can say what they want.
Right. The jury at the end of the day still knows they're looking at a kid.
Absolutely.
Right. All right.
You know,
I see what
that's
you're
my
saying.
point.
But the law doesn't see it that way.
Of course, that's intimidation factor. There's a whole bunch of shit they do.
Intimidation is huge.
Of course, but I mean, and with anybody. But now you take a person younger. Yes, that's life experience more. Now, when I talk about understanding consequence, like the teenager with the phone, no one understanding when to get it, and I could lose that, and if I lose that, I can't call my friend and get laid. You know, I'm 16 years old. I know if I lose my fucking phone, or I'm grounded, I don't get fucking pussy when I go out Friday night. You start thinking, well, I ain't gonna fuck up, man, or I'm the fucking do it and I'm gonna sneak out, or whatever you're gonna figure out. My point is, under now again, when we say 11, that's the general age. There's going to be kids who grow up very young, like they help their parents because dad's a crackhead, mom's in jail, whatever, back for whatever, and the kid's really very mature. He's watching his little brother who's 2, and you see that,
right?
And then you'll see also a kid who's 13 who's just really don't understand consequences. He's fucking he's late bloomer or whatever you want to call it. So, but at 15, 16, everybody listening to this show pretty much understands consequences. And that's what I meant.
Understands consequence, but maybe not to its
well,
fullest.
that's that young brain that's not fully developed, so they don't understand. They do understand it, but they don't. They take it differently because they don't either have life experiences. Listen, when you were younger and I was younger, I remember I was younger, Even when I was like fucking, I was crazy to do these shit. I knew I was gonna get in trouble. I knew everything.
Listen, putting up a gun to somebody's head, man. You don't understand the consequence until the
Well,
consequence arrives.
no, I did when I was a kid. It was different. When I was an adult, I knew it, and I still did it, and that's my problem.
So when you did it in your 30s, when you were putting guns up to people,
I
when
knew
you
what I
were
was
robbing fucking jewelry stores, right? You knew exactly what the consequences was.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna trace back, and that's why you told Joe, or Joe told you what you did, and you never once said, "Man, I'm in prison. I
It
can't
sucks
believe
or
it."
anything, yeah.
The fact of the matter is you did understand your consequence, and when it caught up to you, you owned up to it.
Exactly. And, and listen, I get it. You try to get out of things. Everybody does. Everybody has their whatever they do. And that's normal. Everything's normal. I just look at the brain. That's why, I didn't come up with this number 25 for a man. It's 23 for a woman. Science did. Psychology did for over years and years and years
sure,
and thousands of them.
I get it.
About the brain development. That's why it pisses me off when I see a 17-year-old kid getting life. Unless no matter what it is, it drives me nuts. It's not one of my things. That's why, I don't believe in the death penalty, but that's a whole nother show, if you want to call it that.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, and we got to go. Did you know we're over an hour and 5 minutes?
Already?
What the fuck happens in this show? We got talking on some topics that I like. Do you even remember them now? Remember my son told you got to start for the chapters?
Well, I thought we were going to do that with the new studio.
Yeah, we are. I know, but we should still do something so we could put in there. I don't know how hard that'll be.
I'm feeling definitely clarity today. I'm going to be able to remember what we talked about.
Okay, we're gonna fucking see if
All right.
fucking do it.
Hey, you did a good job last week. You did it Friday.
Did I do a good job?
You did. Yeah, you did. I went and looked.
Oh,
I didn't listen, but I looked.
Yeah, sometimes I got a brain. Sometimes my brain is flooded anyway. I mean, obviously, my brain is fucking totally flooded, and it's just the way it is. I mean,
it's not a bad thing.
No, I like it because it keeps you fucking sharper. You know what? You know what we also do? We put out shit that really don't mean anything there, and then you say, because you didn't want to remember it.
Right.
I mean, this shit, you don't give a fuck about. I couldn't tell you an argument I had with somebody, any friend. I could not tell you a fucking argument I had. And you have me arguing, not arguing,
and you
but
feel
debating.
So strongly about it when you're having the argument.
Oh my God.
But a minute later, when your phone rings and you walk away for a second, you come back and you're like, "What were we talking about again?"
We do that here. You fucking in a minute. I feel like I'm my mom.
I think it's human nature. It's the way for us to keep ourselves entertained. It's the way for us to keep our ego checked.
We need to bring a psychologist on here one day.
That would be fucking awesome. My wife's a clinical psychiatrist.
Oh, will she come on?
Nah.
And
if she will, what do you think she's gonna fuck? She's gonna look at you. She's gonna be like, "Larry, I've got your diagnosis right here. You're fucking crazy."
Yeah.
It's easy. She didn't need you for it.
Yeah, yeah. I told Teresa already. I told everybody who knows you. You're fucking whacked.
You're fucking whacked.
All right, everybody. Anything to say before we close?
Hey, if you're not on Discord, get on Discord. It's in the description of every YouTube video. If you don't have me on Instagram, add me on Instagram. Add Larry too if you're not already.
That Benz.
Yeah, That Benz is my Instagram, and yours is Real Larry Lawton.
Yep, on Instagram.
So yeah, add us on Instagram. We're going to start posting a lot on there. There's going to be some stuff that you're going to see before the podcast posts, and I'm not for sure.
Is it?
Well, sometimes we post pictures. For example, I just posted a picture on my Instagram just now, and that's us doing the and this hasn't been posted yet. So that kind of stuff. So that, and then not only that, you might get a little bit of like the behind the scenes on how the studio's going and stuff like that once we start posting.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was
so
thinking the same thing. I was to tell you that when a kid comes in and starts ripping down shit and boxing
we'll
it up.
do that. We'll do that.
This whole place you see it, and you see it on my YouTube videos, it's going to be totally different. I mean, totally. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's exciting for me because, and then again, the RV studio. We're going to do this a lot. So any suggestions, always email us, Larry@realitycheckprogram.com.
Put podcast in the subject.
Yes, if it's about the podcast. But have a great day, man. Make good choices. I always tell everybody that. Yes, follow us on everything. Check out our merch. Go on the book, Gangster Redemption. Go everywhere and check it out. And listen, support us if you like what we're doing. We like to build this stuff. I am on No Jumper today.
Oh, yeah, No Jumper.
I'm on No Jumper.
Monday.
I'm on
second.
No Jumper's a big podcast with Adam 22.
Boy, they teased the hell out of it. I cannot wait to watch it myself.
Yeah, it was 2 hours.
Well, that's okay.
I don't know if I wonder how much they cut it down. They do that.
I guess we'll find out.
And Thomas from Dope as Usual. It was a 2.5 hour fucking show, and it was a great show. Everybody's talking about that show.
I gotta say this, man. I'm a fucking fan of that show.
I know,
I
you told me.
listened to a
I love
couple
it.
of episodes this weekend.
He's a great guy, and I'm a
Great
fan
guy,
of him too.
great interviewer. I just love it, man. Big shout out to Dope as usual, man. Love what you guys are doing. I'm a fan.
Oh,
If
absolutely.
you're not a listener, you should go check them out. I think
You really should. All right, everybody, have a great day, and please stay safe and make good choices.
Peace.